this episode, Jason brings over some early 2025 heavy hitters as we break into the new Bombergers and the Woodford Chocolate Whispers. Tune in to hear what we thought on this episode of the Bourbon Hunters. Have you thought about supporting our podcast? Head on over to our website at bourbonhunters.com where you can by purchasing Bourbon Hunters products and sign up for our Patreon, which includes exclusive access to single barrel announcements from our private single barrel club. Thank you for taking time out of your day to join us on our hunt for great bourbon. Reward yourself and sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy. Welcome to another episode of the Bourbon Hunters. I am Duke Poole, and I'm joined by
J.D. Fritches,
Jason C.
Brett Ryan.
Oh, Brett's bringing up the rear. Just like he prefers.
Just like always, sir.
Is that your tape measure?
Yeah.
Hey-o. All right, so
How far can this? No.
this is episode 301, so our first episode after our 300th, and Jason decided to bring some goodies. We also have...
Thanks for coming back, sir.
Yeah. We just saw you like yesterday, so...
I pulled the Glade before you got here.
I appreciate
Oh,
that.
good call.
Yeah,
So I could actually smell things.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So on the table here, we've got a hodgepodge of things. We've got Jason's upcoming 2 Russell picks that are from his Mash and Journey Club.
Yeah, which Brett helped out pick.
Which Brett was on site for.
Yep.
And this was part of the one that also the rye came from, right?
Yeah, it was
That
that
you
same day, but the ride already released, so.
It was a really fun pick. Beautiful weather.
Yeah.
We got to do it in Warehouse A, which, some people might know that, but other listeners may not, which is their oldest rick house. Late 1800s, I remember,
Yep,
right, Jason?
Built in late 1800s.
Yeah, and so it's just cool to be in this old rick house with a wooden mallet knocking out bung holes, which that sounds weird. And then just taking a thief.
You were bringing up the rear.
Yeah, and just taking a whiskey thief and pulling out of barrels. And it's just so kind of, it's chaotic, but it's also awesome because you're done with your sample. There's not like a fancy little bowl. You just throw it over your shoulder into the rick house.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just, it's
That's
great
how you
chaos.
do it. That's how you do it, Smalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you do it. So we've got 2 of those. So for that, to kind of go with that, and if Jason wanted to taste these, we have 2 other Russells. One's a Camp Nelson F, and another one's a Tyrone F, just for him to taste if he wants. Then we've also got, into the meat and potatoes, we've got the Jack Daniel's 14.
That's right.
And we've got the Bombergers from, what is that, 2025?
This is the brand new one. It's the Bombergers PFG, which stands for Precision Fine Grain, but I think it just stands for pretty fucking good.
I'm excited to try the Bombergers.
There it is.
Down with that.
When you brought last year's, it was fantastic, man.
This is a whole nother animal, so I'll be curious to see what you
Okay.
think about that, yeah.
And then bringing up the rear with Brett is the Woodford Reserve. This is a limited release. This is the Chocolate Whisper Redux.
I can't even
You
handle
should have
it.
been like
Chocolate
chocolate.
Whisper.
The Chocolate Whisper, Shaquille O'Neal's
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans channel. Yeah, Chocolate Whisper.
This one kind of weighs in at, what is that?
138 and change, 139.
69.7%.
And guess what?
Wow.
It's 12 years old.
Oh,
You don't see these releases from Woodford
No.
at all.
Hopefully
Is
this
this,
will be a sign of things to come besides just their batch proof that comes out with a...
Well, there was a label that popped up on the TTB where they were showing one of their next Masters Collection series, and it showed on the bottle 110 proof.
Interesting.
So I'm like, oh,
Maybe
are
they've been
they
listening to our podcast.
Maybe
and
they've
your
been
show.
listening. Yeah.
Because what have we said? There's no way that 90.4 is perfect for every one of their whiskeys.
Is this all because of Ms. McCall, you think, the change in...
I don't know. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's a call from their loyal fans. Like we would like something a little higher. Who knows? We'll see.
A little higher.
Yeah, a little bit higher.
Just a little higher.
It's
Just a smidge.
that one is a Chinquapin oak matured bourbon.
I mean, 90.7 would be good, too.
Jesus. God, sometimes.
All right.
He just keeps coming back.
So I would love you guys to try the picks that me and Brett did. So
All
why
right.
don't you?
Yeah. Let's
This
break
is
into those.
this is the Camp Nelson E. Why don't you start off with that one
Okay.
and hand me that Bourbon Enthusiast one. I want that Tyrone. Oh yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
I guess I won't say anything. I remember liking one of these. I feel like one of these, and I will not say which one, was a very easy pick for us. It was like, oh, this, like, we know we want this.
When I went back in my notes, I couldn't remember what we even. My notes are so all over the
Yeah.
place. I just have like tasting notes, and
Yeah.
I just couldn't remember like which one was like the unanimous. Oh yeah, we're getting that one. But
There was one of them.
There
though?
was
Yes,
one.
yeah. It was very easy. We were
it was
all,
the first
Do you
one we
remember
hit.
which one? Do you remember which one it was?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Okay.
But I don't want to, give any
Preconceived
notions.
notion.
Yeah, so this is Camp Nelson E. It's the 4th floor. And the
How
age
old
is
is it?
9 years.
9 years.
Yep.
This definitely has an interesting nose to it of something that I wouldn't say it smells familiar like in a bourbon sense, but it does have a familiarity to me that I can't place.
I get dark fruit right now.
Yeah, but there's something else there. I mean, it might be oak, actually, or tobacco.
It's like a Luxardo
what?
cherry, maybe.
It's yeah, I can kind of see maybe some
Like a dark cherry.
dark cherry or dark something there. But I'll tell you, the first thing I got from me was almost something like a tobacco-y and a strong like dried tobacco type of thing. Like,
So in my tasting notes on the nose, I
getting a
had
creamsicle.
I had cherry tobacco, and I did have citrus as well.
Nice. We were all right. We were all right.
Yeah.
we had it surrounded.
After 301 episodes, we got it right.
Cherry and tobacco, we said them both.
I needed to get that out there before you read yours, so just in case.
All right, I'm going to
Yeah.
dive into this because this
Yeah, go
smells
for it.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creamy on the mouthfeel. That viscosity is whoo.
And I get that, yeah. So love the viscosity. Some of those tannins come through in this as well.
Yeah, but that cherry starts to blossom on your tongue, and you're right about the tannins. But man,
That creamsicle,
cherry
too.
tobacco, that creamsicle, like the viscosity screams creamsicle, but it's like a cherry tobacco creamsicle. Like, holy cow! So what we got on the nose, I wouldn't say the nose was muted, but what we just tasted was an amplified version of what I got on the nose.
Yeah, I think the mouth
with
experience
viscosity.
is a little more elevated than the nose is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely surprised me.
But the nose wasn't bad. Like,
Yeah,
it
nose.
just amplified
So
it.
nose, I had cherry compote, salted caramel, orange oil, Rickhouse oak funk. It's kind of like that.
Nose
Probably-
or palate?
This is nose.
Okay.
Brown sugar and your baking spices. On the palate, I had spicy orange cream soda.
What was the cherry tobacco you were
Spicy
talking about?
orange.
That's on the palate.
Oh.
So, but if you're smelling it, that's fine. Yeah. I also got on this. Well, I'll keep saying what you guys are saying.
Man, that is so good.
The finish on this one, I think, is interesting.
Well,
It's
the
almost-
viscosity helps the finish. It
Yeah.
sticks in on the tongue for a minute. So as it's going down and you're getting like that, that Kentucky hug in the throat, it's still blossoming or blooming on the tongue. Like, so you're getting this interesting finish to me.
You know what it feels like? It doesn't taste like it, but it feels almost decadent, like chocolate just melting slowly over your
yeah.
tongue.
I think that's that viscosity. That's a good descriptor. I think with that viscosity, that's kind of a good way to describe it.
I wrote on the finish for me because it lingers. There's almost this effervescence it has. It's almost like that pop rocks, like a cinnamon citrus pop rocks on the back end.
I will tell you this:
Yep.
when you're on your video, try not to do this right in front of your mouth.
I think I do it all the time anyway. It doesn't matter.
Was I? What was the? what's the show? The movie with?
Is it Horrible Bosses?
No. It was on
no.
Amazon with John Cena, and he's
Ricky Stenicki?
Ricky
Yeah, Ricky
Stenicki,
Stenicki.
where he's like,
You're a
I'm
professional
air cocking or
air dicker.
Air dicker, yeah. He's like, I'm air dicking.
You gotta
And he's
edit.
like, and you're doing two. You're doing two at the same time.
This is like a ginger, honey, orange. Like, oh, it's so
The orange
good.
is
The orange
really
is very
surprising,
prevalent.
but it really
But the oak,
comes out.
that wild turkey oak definitely plays in.
It's nice. This
Yeah.
is a good pick. This I will
Your pick is awesome.
I will echo what
Really good.
what I feel like you say a lot, like on your show and when you're here, is there are some Russell's picks that you can get that are just phenomenal and sometimes better than like the Russell's 15 and the Russell's 13 and the whatever the single.
I would say
Ricks.
more so the single rick houses.
But again,
I think for some people,
because
yeah.
these are a single barrel, you have that potential to be. I mean, when you're getting a 15 or a 13 or a single Rick, I mean,
because even the 13 is
Something in there has to be-
113 proof, so it's not that much
Yeah.
higher than this being 110. Now the Russell's 15 is an outlier because that's 117.
It's so juicy, though. You know how
Right?
you get like a cutie orange. You get a cutie, and some of them are just really dry, right?
I thought he meant me.
But then some of them you bite into it and it just explodes in your mouth with like juices. That's kind of...
That was such a great catch of himself. Orange.
I don't know. I just like pictured him as like a little kid. I don't get a cutie.
I
don't know why. I just like pictured him.
And then the adult came out real quick and said, orange.
Because you guys can't see him, and he kind of like sat up like on his chair. He got really excited to tell his cutie story. Kind of cute.
I watched. There's like, just give me a second. The story will make sense. Ever since Jason talked about the penguin, all right, on our trip, I watched the penguin. It's fucking fantastic.
How
Loved
amazing
it.
is that? Yeah.
Amazing. But now, like, I'm obsessed with like mafia movies, and so everything I'm doing, and I like mafia movies anyway. But you're talking about pizza earlier, and I think about Goodfellas, where you're like, don't let the sauce burn.
That's
and like,
right.
you stir the sauce. Did you stir the sauce? And then just now with JD and the orange and the cuties, I imagine like the Godfather, where he's like out in the garden, like cutting the orange, and like that's JD out there, like, yeah.
No, we don't want JD out in the garden with the Godfather because we know what happened to him in the garden.
But I'm a horticulturist.
Yeah, that's true. You are a horticulturist. Yeah,
Completely how I imagined you just now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but this Camp Nelson E, I thought was
special, man.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. I think this was the immediate one.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
What do you think of the one you're having there?
This is good. It actually, I'm curious when you have the Tyrone that we picked, what you're going to think about that one, especially coming off that Camp Nelson.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get into that here. But this is really good. Bourbon Enthusiast. I don't know. Bourbon Enthusiast always kills it with
his
with
palate's
good.
good.
Yeah.
He just likes that creamy, viscous kind of.
Yeah.
So like anything that falls into that realm, he generally is attracted to. And one of the things I do like about being on his picks is that he kind of lets the group steer the ship.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really say anything until after everyone on the group has given their their tasting and their feedback and stuff. So he does a really good job of letting everyone actually have input and just not saying, you know what, all that's great, but I think we're going to do this one anyway, and or this one instead of what you guys think. He might get a second barrel where he does that, but he at least gives the group that he invites, some feedback. And I've been a Patreon of his, or patron to his Patreon, for 5.5 years now. 5 years at least, because it was right before COVID happened. I remember that. And then I joined his with Breaking Bourbon.
Yep.
Did not like their palate at all. Every pick that they had except for one, which was a 1792 pick, I didn't like. And I was just like, oh my gosh, these are... So after like 3 or 4 duds, I was like, yeah, I can't continue to pay money and then not like what they're putting out.
I mean, that makes sense.
So then came Mash and Journey
right.
into my life. And so I found another palette that I agreed with. And so...
I feel like when we picked this one, if you might have to refresh my memory, the second one, it was between this and another one, and they were like sister barrels.
Yep.
Were they not? Or am I misremembering? I feel like they were sister barrels.
Like right beside each other, you mean?
Like in the Rick House, they were true like sister barrels. Like
they
same
were
dump
distilled
date.
on the same day.
Same day, everything. Yeah, but they
Yeah.
had like wildly different tastes.
I love when you
to
get
them.
I've been on a few picks where that's happened, and I love to see the difference. And in fact, when we did our Old Forester pick with James at Mash or Bourbon Enthusiast, I think you were with me, right, JD?
What's that?
When we did Hey Tyler, how you doing? Fucking fuck.
Tyler's here.
Well, he was just here a second ago. When
He's taking a deep dive on the
I
label.
was reading.
You were with me when we did an Old Forester pick with James, right?
Yeah, Chris Morris led it.
Yeah. Okay. So, but remember, we had 2 barrels that were right beside each other. Dump date was the same.
Yep.
They were sitting right beside each other. Tasted
Completely
vastly different.
Yeah.
But like I've been on a few picks where that's been the case, and that just blows my mind.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All right.
sorry to take you
No,
away from your
grab
fantasy
the-
time. With
No,
the
it's
bottle there.
okay. It's okay.
So 2024
Some
was
new
kind
glasses,
of
Brett?
2024 was kind of known as the year of Tyrone.
I was going to rinse for this one, sorry, but
Oh, you can.
A lot of folks,
But I'd like a new glass.
A lot of folks tend to focus on the Camp Nelson Rick houses for good reason. They have the historical.
Cam Nelson's always been good to me.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed.
They have the
those.
historical lore that people love
you're right,
to talk
Tyrone
about.
has
But Tyrone had some really kick-ass picks in 2024, and I'm curious to see what you guys think of this one compared to the. I'm actually going to have some of that
I'm
too.
so scared to pour.
It was funny.
Mason's bottles.
Bruce was talking
Hey,
about this
this
as well.
isn't.
I have a backup of that one, so you're fine.
And this is not a BTAC
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
just going to fucking giggle pour to a Russo.
We have to
pour.
watch him with the Jack Daniels.
Yeah, we will watch them. I can pour those. if
You
you'd
go for
like.
that, yeah.
So
Oh, man.
while everyone's here, you've all been invited to my 50th birthday party, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is a pseudo celebration with just everyone except for Tyler of my 50th birthday, which is Thursday,
Yeah.
technically.
Happy 50th.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Well, no, actually,
No.
it'll be a
I was
week,
like,
it'll be a week
tomorrow?
ago.
Yeah.
It'll be a week
Yeah,
ago. Yeah, I've already
Oh, I was like, yeah, just light bulb.
Yeah.
from when this publishes.
Light,
Yeah, that's
it'll be
why.
a week ago.
Light bulb.
Light break.
But thank you all for. I know you weren't willingly or knowingly celebrating my 50th birthday, but thank you for celebrating my 50th birthday with me. It is crazy because I'm definitely the oldest one in this group, right? So
I think so.
I still feel like a fucking teenager in my head, you know?
Oh yeah.
Like, it's weird. You know, obviously I have that stupid sophomoric or middle school humor or whatever that one.
the 2-star.
Yeah, the
Middle school humor.
Middle school humor.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? I feel like I don't know. I still feel like I'm a kid, man. It's crazy. Like, but I'm 50 years old. Have you seen those images of people that, like, for example, Three's Company?
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock
We've
on-
been waiting for you.
Waiting for you.
Thank
Or
you
the
that you guys got that.
Anyway, so Mr. Roper, when he was on that show, you know how old he was?
He was probably like 47.
54.
Okay.
But he looked like he was like 70.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like so I sent that to my buddies when they turned 50, or maybe it was 52. But anyway, when they turned the age that they were the same as him, I sent them a picture of that guy. I was like, "Hey, you're this old," but they don't look anything like him.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much, not smoking and working out and just kind of, eating or living a semi-healthy life makes you age, or at least your appearance anyway, of aging slower.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
can.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at any of the actors and actresses nowadays that are in their 50s and 60s, they don't look like the actors 30 years ago that were 50 and 60.
Yeah, I think
Not
a
even
lot of it
close.
has to do with, I mean, you have skincare, genetics,
Some
food,
surgery, I'm sure.
food, a lot of surgery. All
For
that
the
stuff.
women, generally. But, but even still, like, I don't know, man. I just, and you can start to see the women that have done too much surgery, too, which is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, for example, I was just watching Running Point with Bridget Fonda's daughter,
yeah.
Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson.
Is it Bridget Fonda? Not Bridget Fonda. That's wrong. Who's her mom?
Goldie
Married
Hawn.
to. Yes, Goldie Hawn. Thank you. Married to
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Thank you. I was going to say Russell, but I was like, that's not right. It's last name Russell. But she has done too much to her lips. Like, you can tell there were scenes in that show where I'm just like, oh my God, lay off the filler, lay off the lip flips, whatever it is you're doing to your mouth, stop it. Like, I don't know why women think their lips have to be huge.
Yeah, I was watching like Friends reruns the other day, and I saw Monica.
Yeah.
She was the girl that was dancing with Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
On Dancing in the Dark in the video.
Yeah. and
Gorgeous.
She was in the Counting
Love her.
Crows video.
Yeah,
and-
I mean, gorgeous girl, gorgeous woman.
but now look at her.
And
She's
then
done too much.
she went way over. Like, she doesn't even
Right.
look like herself anymore.
Jennifer Aniston and Phoebe, what was her name?
Lisa Kudrow.
They still look good.
Yeah.
I mean, like
they've done
naturally
like
good.
little things here and there.
enhancements. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, but it's like, have you seen the meme where it says, no guys looked at a girl and said, God, she would be hot if only her eyelashes were 2 inches longer. Have you seen that?
I didn't see that one.
But it's like the same thing with the lips.
Yeah.
Like, no guy looks at those lips and thinks, oh, yeah. Like those,
I mean, we call them DSLs.
not those. Those are,
the poofy ones.
I know
and-
what you're talking about, but that was before that stuff was invented, that we used that phrase.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of those types of... No one's looked at those lips and been like, oh, yeah. Like,
Okay, Macho Man. Oh yeah.
but, like, seriously,
Love
though.
my-
But no one likes those types of lips. I mean, seriously. You know?
All right, back to the glass.
Oh, yeah. So what do we have here? This is the Russells. What do you guys get on the nose?
Very rich. Like I don't know how to describe, but it's just like robust, rich, dark.
Black tea, maple syrup.
Oh, black tea's a good note.
Dude, I had that written down on my tasting notes.
Yeah, black tea is very good.
I could show them to you.
You know what I get? I get like a strawberry jam.
Kind of towards the middle of your palate.
Yeah.
Right on the middle.
Right in the middle.
I get it. It's like I heard that somewhere.
Creamsicle? Oh, that was the last one.
No, I get it's definitely very tannic in my opinion, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I feel like this one, while the viscosity is not as high as the last one, it's got a lot more layers. It's got a lot of flavor to it.
So notes here, my tasting notes were sweet oak, more than the CNE, which leads into that tannic that you're getting. Vanilla, orange herbal tea.
Oh, there you go.
Hint of maple, clove, and black cherry.
The clove and the black cherry I definitely get on the finish.
Clove for sure.
I get like
and the
currants.
orange. I get the orange and the clove
Currants?
on the finish.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you said curds, like cheese
No,
curds.
no,
I was
Cheese
like,
curds.
what?
Yours is a little spoiled, man.
Yeah, the palate I have heavy caramel, a little hint of that strawberry jam or the currant.
This one has a lot of stuff
There's a
to it.
lot of stuff
Yeah,
going on here.
for sure, 100%.
I love the tannins in this. I really do.
Yeah, it's really, really. This is one of those I talk about it all the time. I know I say this and ad nauseum, but this is one of those ones you could sit down for an evening and it just tells a story. Like it just you keep getting new things that are uncovered throughout the evening as you drink it.
What does the endemic say? It sparkles.
It sparkles.
Oh, sparkles. I love
she
that.
does say that.
I love
Sparkles.
that.
Say that.
It does sparkle.
Little callback. Nice.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah, this is going to be a favorite, I think.
Which
for
one
the
do you
group.
like better of these two?
I mean, I immediately thought I was going to love the CNE when I first got them. Like, I can't wait to try this Camp Nelson, and then I tried that Tyrone. I was like, I am all in on that Tyrone. It's so good.
Yeah,
I think most folks would like.
both.
I think most folks will like the CNE because it's a little sweeter. It's not as tannic,
I
but I
think-
think the Tyrone, if people appreciate, it's more layered.
It's unique too.
What I
You know
like
what
about
mean?
the
It's very
Tyrone.
unique.
What is this one? This is the CNE.
No,
No,
this
No,
is
the
Tyrone was the
Tyrone.
last one. So what I like about the Tyrone is it's very complex, has a lot of layers. Love that. What I like about the CNE, Camp Nelson E, is that it is very viscous, very creamy, and it just has this really long finish that's not like a typical bourbon finish. It's just a long finish because of the way it sits on your tongue.
Yeah.
It just sits there forever. So they're two different, but two really, really good picks. So you did good. You did good. Both you and Brett did good on this one.
I'll give it all to Brett.
Yeah.
I've been on a pick with Brett, and he's a strong arm man. He bends people to his will.
Very persuasive.
We had a pretty big group when we went. So
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, so a lot of guys will be getting some ahead bottles. The pig team always does.
The pick team.
Yeah,
Do you guys
was
get
a really
jerseys
fun
or anything
time.
for that? Or?
Jerseys.
yeah. no
Where do we
jerseys.
go next? What do you think is the next?
I think
thing?
we should try the PFG.
The Bombergers?
Yeah, the Bombergers.
All right.
You know,
I'm
we-
excited about
Class
that.
me up, sailor.
Speaking of like jerseys or uniforms or whatever,
Jersey
it'd be
Mikes.
cool to have like Bourbon Hunter like mechanic shirts, button downs
Oh,
with
like
the name.
like a bowling shirt almost type of
Put,
thing.
like
or
Fritter
mechanic.
in
I
the
love
patch.
those. Do you see it like Pins Mechanical or
Yeah.
whatever? Do you want a glass
Yeah,
there,
please.
JD, sir?
I mean,
That's
I think
actually
those
not a
shirts
bad
would be
idea.
pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
I'd rock the shit out of that.
Yeah, me too.
I would actually too.
Yeah.
That's.
I
not
would
too
wear
bad.
that.
All right.
There's
Get you an honorary Bourbon Hunters
Mechanic.
on the back. It's got
Honorary. I've been on more episodes than Tyler.
You're right. We'll get Tyler the honorary.
yeah.
he would be
is-
pissed if his shirt said like honorary.
Oh,
That'd be
no.
fantastic.
Honest to God, if I ever do this,
Yeah.
it will say honorary for him.
Oh shit.
And you'll be founding member.
Damn.
Jason will be founding member.
That's don't do that to Tyler.
No, that's what makes it fun. We do that to Tyler.
All right, so this is the first year of this. So Bombergers traditionally has been a 100 and was it 9? I think it's 107, 109 proof bourbon.
This one's
Usually,
100.2.
yes, 100.2. So Bombergers has been, it's part of the legacy series from Michter's. It's a callback to their original history. That's what also the Shanks is. So you have the Shank and the Bombergers, which kind of tells that story of the Michter's history.
Easy, it's golf season. You can't say that word.
Can't say what.
Shanks.
Yeah, nobody likes a Shank. Anyway,
You take penicillin for that?
normally what they do with the Bombergers is that they will tell you, I should rephrase that, they don't tell you like some of the different grains that they'll use in the whiskey because like some will have malted barley, some will use it. Don't make him giggle while he's pouring.
Don't say anything funny.
All right, just let him
Focus.
Just let him cook. Let him go.
Focus. Come on, Fritter Tits, focus.
So this year they decided to do PFG, which focuses all on this oak.
Nice. That was not bad. That was
Pretty
not bad.
good. So as you can see, look at the color of this.
This is dark as can be.
I mean, it's like an old copper penny. I love
Copper.
it.
That's a good description. Copper is exactly what it looks like.
Hope it doesn't taste like a penny.
No, it smells really
You got to
good.
smell it. I mean,
The nose
smells
the nose is
great.
crazy.
And the freaking legs on this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He turned French all of a sudden.
So,
oui, oui.
So Bombergers PFG is made by first aging Kentucky straight bourbon in new toasted and charred American oak barrel. After full maturation, the Kentucky straight bourbon is removed from the first barrel and placed in a second new custom proprietary toasted and charred French fine grain oak barrel of the most exacting specifications. These barrels are toasted at a tightly defined temperature range for a precise period of time before they receive a select charring. The whiskey is matured in these second barrels before being dumped into small batches, then that undergo their signature filtration process before bottled at 102 proof. Now, the finished barrel is interesting. It's a blend of woods from various regions in France. So it's literally kind of a zebra barrel. It has all these different variations of French oak.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull a fritter here. This, to me, smells like when you walk into a Lowe's and you walk down the actual lumber aisle.
Yeah.
No, I'm being dead serious. Like
Fresh cut lumber.
fresh cut lumber. Like, honest to God,
I could see that.
but it's not like bad. It's
No,
a
no.
good,
It's-
fresh kind of, I don't know, crisp kind of smell.
My aunt in Pennsylvania, her partner,
You have to outdo me, don't you?
no, he's a woodworker, and he's got all this like wood from the Amazon and from that have been sitting in water.
I'm
and-
amending. It reminds me of like a woodworking shop.
Yeah,
Where you're smelling the
Yeah.
wood and like the varnish and the stains and stuff. Like, not in a bad way, but like that nostalgic kind of way. Just seems like something really old. Keep going. Sorry.
like an old library, leather-bound books.
Yeah, mahogany
I mean,
everywhere.
there's so much like woodworking in the house that he built, and you can just smell it everywhere you go.
Yeah.
All the finish. The,
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting out of this
Yeah.
too? So we're kind of on the same page, I feel like. What are you getting, Brett?
So French oak overall can give you not only a lot of spice, but it brings chocolate.
Yeah.
It brings viscosity because of that tight grain that it has. And that's what I love about French oak and what it does to whiskey. But the flavor profile of this is crazy.
That tightness, like French women do the same thing.
I was waiting for something about that.
Oh, man, that is good. There's your tannins, buddy. There's some
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
tannins on this one. And these are like some sweet tannins, if that makes sense.
Yep. It is all cherry, chocolate, and oak.
Well, I was getting cherry, but I didn't want to say it because
Tobacco.
I've said cherry on like 3 things already.
Yeah, but it happens. We're on a trend.
This is a more of
This is
a
tobacco, too.
Luxardo cherry.
yeah.
Yeah. Traverse City
Are you
cherry.
are you getting tobacco as well?
Oh,
Like, I'm
for
getting
sure.
a ton of tobacco in a good way.
Has
Like,
a very
I get like that sweet pipe tobacco that my
Yes.
great grandfather.
Yes, would smoke
This
out of the-
this reminds me of walking to speaking of nostalgic.
Through
My
the
great
smoke.
grandparents. I'd walk in his house and he always was smoking a fresh
My
pipe. and
uncle,
that smell.
Uncle Bub.
It just brought me back to that. Yeah.
I had an uncle in Texas. His name's Uncle Bub. Well, not any longer. I mean, it still is his name, I guess. He passed a while ago, but Uncle Bub was always a pipe smoker, and he was packing it into the pipe. And this reminds me of almost like walking through the smell, not the exhales, but like the smell coming
Yeah.
out of the pipe, just that fresh, burnt tobacco. Oh,
It's got such a unique, very, very,
this is something that, like I've never tasted.
very
before.
sweet profile on the very back end.
the best way I can describe the nose. It's just very antique-y.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something nostalgic. That's what I was kind of saying earlier, like the nostalgia, antique. That's another good
It's
word
just
for
so
it.
good.
It's
Sandalwood.
You were right. The tannins on this are
sandalwood's a good
great.
call out.
Tannins are fucking killer
It's
on
like a
this.
sweet tannin, like, right? I mean, it's interesting. I don't think I've ever tasted anything like this before. This is really good, really unique.
I used to burn sandalwood incense when I was younger.
Yeah, when you were a hippie,
Yeah.
back when you went to Rutgers.
This is back Michigan State.
Michigan State. Yeah, you had that.
Delinquents.
You burning those incense things and trying
You
to get
had
the ladies
to.
over to your dorm room. Yeah.
What is it? Patchouli oil. That's what they all. Patchouli oil was the thing they all
I
had.
have no idea.
The RAs always knew to look at the bottom of the doors because people would lay towels
Yeah.
Yeah.
to prevent like the smoke from going out into the
Oh,
hallway.
God. I've got
And so
stories. I've got stories about the dorms, man.
you
We
just
used to
need a
do the
toilet paper roll center, pack some bounce sheets in there, and use that as a filter.
Nice.
So when we knew someone was leaving for the weekend,
Yeah.
which happened all the time when you lived in the dorms, they'd go back home and get their laundry done or whatever, just visit. We would take a bag that like your bread came in, and it would be empty, obviously, but you'd fill it up with like flour, and you'd fill it with air. Powder or the powdered sugar or your flour would be in it. You'd shove it under someone's door, and then as soon as you let go, someone would jump on it and stomp it into their room, and they'd come in, and it was like a freaking dust bomb of flour all over everything. All over everything. It was amazing. The other thing we used to do is because the doors would open inward in your dorm room, we would tie up one doorknob across the hall to another doorknob so they couldn't open them.
yeah.
And they would, that was the best.
On the flour bomb, would you go, hee?
Well, they weren't there, so that would be lost on.
You could still do it.
You could do it, but
Still do it,
no one
yeah.
would hear it. It's like if a tree falls, in the forest and no one's around.
This Bomberger is bomb.
It's
Sorry to
it's
be
like
funny.
butterscotch.
One
on the
more
finish.
thing. One more thing that we used to do.
That's that sweetie thing, that little candy on the back.
Yeah, no, it's like it just hangs around.
Yeah.
So I lived in Smith Hall on Ohio State campus my freshman year, and we would fill up trash cans, the big, tall, like thin trash cans, with water because the showers you could just, and then we'd drag it over, lean it up against the elevator door, and then you'd hit the down button and go hide in the study room, which was at the end of the, and you'd hear ding, fuck. And it was always in that order. Like someone would always just like,
Oh my God.
it was the best. And then you just hear the water like raining down through the elevator shaft for minutes. You just hear the dripping.
Damn. Somebody did that to me and I'm wearing my Jordans. I'm hunting bodies.
Man,
I'm hunting bodies.
Cool shoes.
this was we did the best.
Cool shoes, dude.
We had the best. So the best prank I've ever done. We had my roommate in college. I lived in one of the triples at the end of the hall, and he would just sleep all day long. So he'd get up and he'd take 6 a.m. classes. And he would go to 6 a.m. class, and then he would come home, and he'd finish at like noon, and then he would go to and take like a 3 or 4 hour nap.
That's a coma.
Yeah,
It's a coma.
but I'm just like, well,
How do you function like that?
but why would you take the 6 a.m. class if you're just going to come back and sleep for 4 hours? Like, why would you do that? So he would do that, and one time we kept him up till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon one day, and he didn't get to take his nap. He goes and takes his, like, he falls asleep at like 5 o'clock at night. So we get everyone in the dorm to fall in line, and we moved all of his clocks and his watch and all this stuff. This is before cell phones. Forward to 6 or like 5:30 or whatever time he woke up in the morning to take his class, and so everyone that he interacted with in the morning, like if he saw someone walk into the shower with their towel and whatever else there, because we had a community
Shower
style.
caddies, yeah.
Yeah, so you had a community style in Smith Hall. You had community showers. You didn't have your own private shower. And same thing with the toilets. They were all community toilets and all that stuff. But so we had it set up so that whoever he interacted with in the morning would be doing what they were doing at that time of day. So me and my roommate were acting like we were sleeping because we didn't take classes that early. His alarm goes off. He gets up. And it's like wintertime, so it gets dark early. So it's, believably that time of day.
Uh-huh.
He gets up, starts to get ready for class, does all this stuff. He sees a couple of people going into the bathroom, getting ready to take a shower like they normally would. And he gets ready for his day, walks all the way to class.
Oh, no.
And then as he leaves, everyone comes into our room, and they're all just sitting in our room waiting for him to come back. And like 20 minutes later, he comes back, and he finally figured it out. Like he finally, sitting in the classroom, looks up at the clock, and it wasn't the time that he was expecting it to be.
And so he's looking around. And I think it took him a minute for it to add up. I swear to God, if all the people in our dorm room or in our dorm floor had not been in our room, he would have killed us. He was so mad. But by the time it all, like, he got back, he was ready to kill us. But, like, he walks into a room of, like, 30 people laughing. And so he finally, he kind of, you know, started laughing too. And to this day, he swore he was going to get me back. This has been 30 years ago, so it hasn't happened yet. But
It's coming.
I'm just waiting.
Little do you know, he's upstairs with Trina right now.
Well, the best part is we went to high school together. And so we used to play pranks on each other all the time, him and I. And so at one point I was collecting, you know how when you'd tear the paper out of your notebook and it would leave like the little things in the spiral? Mm-hmm. We would collect those, and I had a whole bag of those. And at the last day of school, this was like 6th or 7th grade. It was 6th grade, I know for sure. It was 6th grade. So at the last day of school, I take mine out, and I sat behind him, and I dumped it over his head. And it was just a whole bunch of, like, you know, whatever you call it, the spiral bound notebook, you know, trimmings or whatever, all over his head.
Oh man, it's like glitter. It's
And
terrible.
so it was terrible. So he was like, I'm going to get you back. And then he didn't get me back until, I don't know, it was like my junior year.
Well, you can't do it right away.
No, but it was like my junior year. So like he took forever.
He waited a while.
5 or 6 years. And so he did the same thing to me. So he didn't do anything creative, but he did the same thing to me. He dumped a freaking whole thing of paper. It was just like 5 times as much paper on top of me at the end of the last day of school. So I'm just waiting. You know, he waited that long for that. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still waiting at home right now. Like, I'm going to get that fucker.
He is. He's going to come for you.
He is. I think so too.
Uh-oh.
What the hell was that?
That was his measuring stick.
Oh, okay. So, you would have thought, with as sticky as it was when he brought it back, that it would have stuck there.
It's only a 12-incher.
All right.
So it wasn't long enough. You have another one.
Final thoughts on the Bombergers. What do you guys think?
It's amazing.
So when I did the video, I put good, great, or gimmick. This is freaking great. That's why I call PFG pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good
it's different,
acronym.
and it's different.
It is.
Yeah.
It's different enough that, like, this is interesting because this is not anything that I would have ever sought out.
Sought after? Sought out?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Sought out.
Thank you for correcting me. I'm glad Tyler wasn't here for this. This is not anything I would have ever sought out as something I thought I would want. But now that it's in the glass and I'm tasting it, this is outstanding.
Yeah.
But again, it's not something I don't think I would sit down with every night.
And really viscous for 100 proof, right?
It is.
So
That's
that's
that fine oak.
The weird thing, like when initially it enters my mouth, I feel like it's thin, but then
No comment.
what?
I don't know, just the whole combination
The
of
way that you said when it enters my mouth, it's so thin.
not when I initially not when I initially sip it, not when I first drank it, when it first enters my mouth.
Right? I felt so violated hearing that.
It's like I have to open so wide.
I felt so violated.
I feel like I'm
when
gonna
you
get you're gonna be sued just for saying that.
Right. We're going to have a fucking meeting with HR, and there is no HR. Like, what
Just
the
when
hell?
it enters my mouth?
It's
My
so
God.
Like, the wording on that couldn't have been any better.
It's so bad.
No, it could have been better, I assure you.
It could have been way better.
We're saying the same thing, just in different ends of the spectrum. Holy shit. And the best part is he still didn't even know he said it until I had to repeat it.
I just saw you guys laughing.
I tried to hold it in until I see this asshole smirking.
But we're sitting right across from each other. That doesn't help.
I know.
You're sitting there looking at me
Listen,
dying.
I was trying not to look at you because
You turned the chair. You should have kept the chair facing.
I should have. Because he said it, and then I was like,
Oh,
and then I did this, and I'm like, and then he's fucking giggling bits over there.
Oh, I wasn't giggling. I was straight up fucking dying. I was grandpa laughing.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I was laughing through my breath.
Grandpa,
That's what I was doing.
And Brett over there just remaining calm, going, "We're gonna get sued."
I'm just like looking down, like
we're getting letters.
yeah, we're
I'm
getting
like-
letters.
I looked down, I'm like,
Can't wait
what's
for this
wrong with you?
review.
Why are these where your thoughts go every time?
All right.
Because I'm still
So-
a kid. Even though I'm turning 50, I'm still a kid.
We're all just fucking.
You want to rewind that
teenagers.
and try that
No.
again? GD?
No.
No. I mean, just
take
Start
back
that statement.
start the statement over.
Initially, it feels a little thin.
Okay. Listen, leave him alone.
But the further into my mouth I get,
The thicker it gets.
Just stop.
Can't even say finish.
it finished in his mouth
It's
so well.
like a handful of Skittles.
Oh yeah, it does
Sweetness on the finish.
It does get a lot. Yeah.
if those Skittles had been aged in French oak.
You have more candy references.
Well,
But
we know
I'm
what
not-
his childhood was like now. don't we?
I'm not mad about them. It's just I don't
No,
think
right.
of those things.
I know, but I think it resonates.
It does.
Speaking of good
relatable.
reviews, I thought you.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of good reviews, good segue
Yeah. Oh, what do we got?
to offset the review we're about to get from his fucking oral sex
Fixations.
You know, it's funny. I reframed earlier from a joke I had when we were talking about the lips.
You refrained or refrained?
No, I kept it in.
Your mouth.
No. No, I was going to say, all right, guys, enough about DSLs. Let's get back to the DSPs.
Oh.
That would have been good.
That would have probably been the best joke you've ever told.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
I think you need to rethink your refraining.
Okay.
Well, it's out there now. It's in the universe.
I mean,
It's out in the ether.
Mr. Beans.
Mr.
With a lot of
Beans.
V's. E-E-E-E-E-N-S.
Okay.
M-Z.
All right.
Mr. Beans.
All right, so this is a review
5-star
on
review
Apple
on
Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
Oh, 5-star. Nice.
Yeah. What did Mr. Beans have to say?
He says that he has an overnight job with lots of solitude that allows many hours to listen to audiobooks and podcasts.
He's in jail.
Somebody snuck him a phone.
in their ass.
No, we call that our
Keister.
no, we call that our prison wallet.
Oh my God. I listened to 3 bourbon-related podcasts, but the Bourbon Hunters podcast were my first intro and remain my favorite.
Oh.
Listening to their back catalog of episodes also introduced me to Bourbon Pursuit and Black and Brown podcast.
Man, that's stratosphere. That's high
you're-
levels right there.
You're up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 great podcasts.
Yep.
As I begin my second year of whiskey interest, I head into 2025 in a much better headspace than when my podcast feed was all scandal and true crime.
I can see where that would mess with your head. Have you seen Have you seen the studies that say people that watch true crime or listen to true crime podcasts are more likely to be not depressed, but it's something along those lines.
Oh God.
Because
Yikes.
like you're just sitting there thinking about people killing each other all the
I gotta
time.
tell my girlfriend Kim to stop listening to that shit.
Yeah. Do you
My
ever wake
wife-
up with a pillow over top of your and then she's like, "Oh, nope, nothing
No,
to see."
I'm sure my wife has thought about
She
it.
knows how to get rid of anyone. She just-
She knows how to get away with it.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, sorry.
The only downside I can think of is my wallet is a little lighter since developing a taste for bourbon.
He stops carrying cash now. It's all credit.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense.
I appreciate listening to the Bourbon Hunters dive into the history of the spirits and try to show it and sound like they are all good friends and have quite the collection and selection. It's true.
I mean, it is true. We do hang out together outside of the podcast. Except
That's
for
right.
Brett. Except for Brett.
I do. It's horse shit.
I'm just fucking with you. That was hit a little too close to home, apparently.
You told me you loved me, okay?
You were holding me so tight.
Honestly, the episodes that stick out to me most are the ones where they try the old Wild Turkey cheesy gold foil bottles or the Pride of Anderson County,
Oh, okay.
which Jason
Which,
was
of
a
course,
part of
Jason
both
All of
them.
that, yes.
So apparently our podcast is only great when Jason's on it.
That's not true.
Oh, it's probably partially true.
Those sound like my ultimate unicorns. Keep up the good work, and thanks for all the hours of great content for us night shift guys delivering groceries.
Well, the great content
Thank you,
just
sir.
went down as we read a review on our podcast, but that's all right.
Hell yeah, Mr. Beans.
Mr.
Beans.
Beans. Who's getting groceries at nighttime?
Well, you got to stock them.
He can probably stock, yeah.
You
I used
can stock 'em.
That is
right?
true.
That's what Instacart's
Well, keep
for.
listening. We appreciate the listenership. Is that a thing? Is that a
I
word?
think so.
It is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
I just made it. Get some more glasses, Brett. Let's move on.
There's 2. So
I'll take one of them. It's my house.
who wants the other?
Who does number 2?
I could use a, I
I
could
say
use a fresh
Jason
glass.
brought.
I've been using that glass over and over. All right, now
This
we're
one's
getting
clean.
Now we're getting into
All the hazy ones are mine.
Now we're getting into the Jack Daniels 14 year.
Oh shit!
Man, I was really trying hard to have them bring this out when we were at Jack Daniels a few weeks ago.
Yeah, he was like Tyler.
I became Tyler.
He was. Hey,
How many times did you ask?
I fished a couple
There was
times.
probably 5 or 6.
All right,
Yeah.
Jason,
Couple with
or
Nacho.
not
I think
Jason,
you might
sorry.
have even done it on the podcast.
I gotta go hit
Is
the
this
head.
what we're doing? Okay. Well,
Will you pour me, sir?
Yeah.
God, you have,
Someone-
you have a child's bladder.
I mean, it's the prostate problems. It's not a going problem. It's
you
a
need me
growing
to milk your
problem.
prostate again?
Growing problem.
That used to be an advertisement
Yeah.
for prostate stuff back in the
Do
day.
you need me to milk your prostate again?
I mean, I'm not against
You
it.
can milk anything with nipples.
Jeez, you just made me giggle poor, you fucker.
Yeah, look at that. It's like a 4-finger job. I'm only kidding.
that is not even a single
I know.
finger.
No, two's enough.
He's got like 1.5 fingers.
You've seen
there.
my fat sausages. That's not even a single finger.
So
You notice whenever JD starts to pour now, we all stop talking,
I know.
so he has no excuse.
I know. We just kind of see what happens.
I feel judged.
Well, you should, because there's a lot of judgment happening.
All right, so 23,000 bottles and change of this one to be released. This is
That's a decent amount.
Yeah,
of
not
bottles.
one to be found.
Yeah, release
by
it.
us, anyway.
The flippers are gobbling these up, obviously. These are still going for about 5 to 6.
So, real quick story before you tell your tidbits. While we were there, Giggle Bits over here and Tidbits, while we were there, they told us that the line on the day, like people, I guess they announced when they were going to do it at the actual
Yeah, the White Rabbit shop.
White Rabbit shop, which is an interesting story about how they're able to sell liquor there in a dry county. But they said the line was crazy, and the people that worked there that didn't work that day or work at the time of the release were all getting in line as well because they wanted it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was an interesting story about.
Yeah, it went pretty fast, pretty quick. I saw bottles of this on a bunch of different Facebook groups and people posting it that went to the White Rabbit shop. And
Oh, really?
at that point, I'm like, I wonder if Brown Foreman's going to send me a sample of it. And lo and behold, I get a bottle, luckily, which usually doesn't happen when I got the samples from the Jack Daniels 10 and 12 years. Every single year they've been in the small
a
sample
200
bottles.
milliliter or
So I did get those this year, but it came with a full bottle of the Jack Daniels 14, which I thought was insane.
Matt got a big one too.
Yeah, Mott got a big one. Some people got all 3 small ones. Some people got the 2 at the bit. I mean,
Still, I'd take a small one.
I didn't care. I was expecting
Yeah.
a small bottle. I did not expect a full bottle.
That's pretty cool.
which is fine.
Which allows you to bring it to us and share it with us.
That's right.
It's just a little
So
girthier.
yeah, a little bit. So this is cast strength. Like I said, about 23,000 bottles and change. We were talking to Chris. So Brown Foreman does this thing, a little behind the scenes. Usually when they do a big release like this, especially Jack Daniels, they do Zoom calls with a bunch of influencers.
Oh.
Writers, bloggers, people in the industry, anybody that cares about Jack Daniels. So you have two time slots. You could kind of pick whichever one. Chris Fletcher comes on with you, and you basically have the chance to ask him questions. So it was awesome. We got to, let me move this. There you go.
Clyde?
So we got to sit down on a Zoom call and talk with him, and he kind of laid down all the different aspects of this. So interestingly enough, the 10, the 12, the 14 are 3 age-stated releases that were in the legacy pre-prohibition Jack Daniels catalog. The next 2 they're going to try to release are an 18 and a 21.
Well, the 21
21?
bottle is on display in the Jack Daniels shop.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, they had a 21 old bottle on display in the shop that we were
Yeah.
at the White Rabbit, like just
From
outside of the White Rabbit
1908.
shop. Yeah, it was pre-prohibition.
Yep.
And they had a 21-year-old there, obviously empty, but it was still pretty neat to see the history of that. And that might have been the first year that bottle shape that we know now today was in use.
Yeah, he talked about a lot about the history. The Jack Daniels historian, and forgive me, I don't remember his name. I got to talk to him, and man, he showed me a price sheet of how Jack Daniels would sell these. He would sell gallons of 14, 18, 21-year whiskey for like, it was like $3, $10. It was, it was insane.
But do the math on the inflation. What would that be?
Oh yeah, it would be.
It'd be more
a lot of
probably than what we're paying.
But it's just crazy to see those
Right.
prices. So I'm trying to think of what else he said about this. Yeah, they basically start in the top of the rickhouses for the first 6 to 7 years, and then they roll it down to the bottom so it can age a little bit more gracefully and not lose so much angel share. That's really been the key for them to get these whiskeys that high
Is that
in
for the
age.
14 right now, or for the
14?
Yeah, okay.
They did it for the 12 as well, and they're trying to do it with the 18 because they're already working on that. Those are already cooking in the warehouse.
Didn't Nacho allude to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and what he said to us was that the barrel picks that they do for single barrel selections are all top floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or top whatever.
So it was 4.7 in Tanyard Hill.
yeah.
Yep.
But
Barrel House
I
one.
think they're all that way for their single barrel. And if the proof goes below 125, it immediately goes into the regular population.
Yep, the blending.
Yep.
So all of their barrel picks are above 125.
I dad joked the shit out of our tour guide.
I'm sure you did.
I'm glad that you did.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
I had a good one.
She enjoyed it.
She laughed.
She enjoyed it.
She's a mom, so I get it.
She did. She enjoyed it. She had a good time with us, I think. I think most times we have a guide in our group, they generally enjoy us. They can tell that we're idiots, but they can also tell that we really know, or at least...
I was jumping up on the REO Speedwagon.
Yeah, which I had no idea that REO Speedwagon was a damn fire truck before it was a band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Idea.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, so there's a picture on our... Did I put it on our Instagram?
I don't know. I don't think you did a
It's in our
compilation.
Patreon video, but we're sitting there, the four of us, me, Ronald, Trey, and JD, sitting on the REO Speedwagon, which is an actual, if you look it up, so like check it out, REO Speedwagon on Wikipedia or Google or whatever, it used to be, it was a brand of fire truck.
Yep.
I had no idea. I thought that was cool, so we all jumped in and took a picture.
Oh, man.
All right, what do you guys think of this?
Holy banana nut bread.
I definitely get like a nut bread. The banana is almost secondary. It's like
Yeah,
slight
the
to me.
banana isn't
Yeah.
as prevalent in this because of how much molasses and age you
Yeah,
have here.
molasses. That's a good one. But I get the nut bread. The nut bread's really, really there.
And kind of going off the Bombergers here, I get a lot of tobacco on this. Sweet tobacco.
Yeah, definitely.
You talking nose or palate?
Nose. I haven't tasted it yet, but I mean,
Damn. Oh,
You tried it.
the banana hits it in a weird location on the tongue. It's
126.3 proof, by the way.
Oh,
like, man, the banana hits like in the mid palate.
Death by Jack killed me
But
now.
man, this is good.
Isn't this really good?
I'm not gonna. This is not trying to diminish the Bombergers, but this is my favorite thing I've had so far
So
tonight.
I'm going to be the outlier and say I like the Bombergers better, I think.
You're allowed.
This is very good. Very, very good. For some reason, the Bombergers to me...
It was unique. It was really different.
And-
the tannin's probably for you.
And it may be, and so it's so weird with how these things happen. Like, did I eat something today? Did I eat some? You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
No, it's
Doesn't have, you don't have to
who the
look
fuck
that
knows
much
what it
into
is?
it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's very interesting.
I could see on some days where I would prefer the Bombergers over the Jack Daniels.
And again, I'm into tannins right now so much, and this has tannins. Don't get me wrong, but man, that Bombergers just really resonated with me. JD, sir, JD,
I think I zoned out.
it's okay.
I mean, this is phenomenal.
would you agree with me that it's your favorite, or were you more like bread, or what do you think?
No, I agree actually with Jason or Brett, the Bombergers from time to time, depending on what kind of palate I want. I really like that sweet finish that's on there. But, I mean, I'm a homer for...
I think this gets into
Jack.
a tobacco, almost blackstrap rum type of
yeah. Wow.
type of flavor profile.
Would have never came up with that.
And the tobacco in it, I think, the more you sip it, especially in the back end, it's almost like a cigar that's been like aged with like rum dipped in chocolate. Like that's what it feels like to me.
I get the chocolate. I get the tobacco.
And that molasses, like
The molasses.
that rummy
is
molasses,
rum
yeah.
adjacent for sure. I don't get rum notes from it, but I understand what you're saying.
Just that like rich dark sweetness.
Yeah. Like my teeth feel coated like they do after I have like a sipping rum.
Mm-hmm.
Rum and tobacco for me, for sure. When you said that, I was like, oh, rum and tobacco are the two things that just jump out at me.
Yeah.
I get that. This is good. I really like this a lot.
There's a slight smokiness to it.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a little bit of that barrel char in there.
There's some
which I think lends
complexity to this.
Yeah, I think
too.
it lends itself to that tobacco note.
Yeah.
Like Chris Fletcher was just really harping on the whole. Like it's a great cigar whiskey too, if you're into that. And I could see that correlating with the heavy sweetness of this, with like an earthy cigar. It could work well.
You know what I love about Jack Daniels? No one, I mean, unless you're just like not really into this scene like we are, no one really just says, "Oh God, I love me some Jack Daniels," Black Label, right? I mean, they do.
Agree.
Some people do. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, like the people that really get into this, their palate starts to elevate, and they start to, they recognize Jack for what it is, and maybe it was their entry into bourbon or whiskey or whatever. Same with Jim Beam.
Yeah.
White Label, but what's interesting to me is I used to just kind of Jack, whatever, but I drank it all the time in college. But when we started doing my first introduction to Jack, other than Black Label, was Bourbon Enthusiast, then Mash and Journey with their barrel proof
The picks. Yeah.
and those are freaking ridiculous. Those are so good, and so. That opened my eyes to Jack Daniels, but then I've had the 10 now, and I've had the 12, and I don't know which 12 I had, but I've had the 10 and the 12, and now the 14, and holy cow, man, they're good. Like the amount of variance and variety, I guess I know the same word, kind of, that you get from just, it's all the same mash bill.
Yeah.
And what is it? What's their mash bill?
80% corn.
16-4 or something like that? 16 malted barley, 4, or no?
No, it's 80.
12-8. 80-12-8, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80-12.
But it's 12 is the malted barley and 8 is the rye.
So I think that Jack Daniels has low-key done a phenomenal job of separating themselves, to your point, dude, from old number 7.
Yeah.
Think about what they've released in the last several years. They come out with a damn American single malt, finished in sherry. They had their barrel proof rye, toasted rye. They do different things with their Tennessee Taster Series, or right now it's the Jack Daniels, was it the Distillery Select? I forgot how they renamed it.
I've got a toasted pecan in my bunker.
Those distillery releases are incredible. I mean, they're 375s, but I think they use that as to crowdsource basically what is working out there. What could be our next big release?
But not only that, they also have these things like the Jack Daniels. What did we have that was in our cider and our hot chocolate?
Oh, Tennessee Fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
So the fire, they have the honey, they have these other things too that are just more like party.
Yeah, they're a little bit more mainstream.
Less enthusiast, less aficionado type whiskey stuff, but like closer to Fireball, closer to whatever, like mixers and things like that. So they have that level.
But that's what I mean. Like Jack Daniels could have been a distillery that just focused on that because they're doing so much volume of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But to take the time to create these really cool, unique releases.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Pay homage to the history and trying to recreate a 14 and 18 and a 21 year now. That's crazy. I mean, I give it to them. I think
I'm excited for it.
I think they've been one of the more innovative, forward-thinking, old school distillers that we have.
And you know what they've done, which is really interesting to me, because I feel like a lot of these places, when they do this type of stuff, they paint themselves into a corner or a box or whatever you want to call it. The 10, the 12, and the 14 are all different proofs, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Is the 12 always the same proof?
Yeah, 107. The last 3 releases have
And
been 107.
the 10 as well?
Yep.
And this 14 is what?
126.3. This is cast strength.
Do you think that that's always going to be 126.3, or it's going to be
So
126.7, 126.5, 125.7?
So great question. So great question. The 14 year is going to be a recurring release, which I thought was pretty interesting. Because I'm like, if you're trying to make 18 and 21, wouldn't you just keep riding those? But they have the inventory.
They probably have. They're just holding some back.
So
and they have enough to release for.
So the 10 years on batch 4. The 12 years on batch 3, and this is batch 1 of the 14 year. So you kind of follow the lineage. 14 there will be a batch 2, and it probably will be a different proof point, but it will still be cast strength.
Right.
As far as the 18 to 21, they said they haven't really decided what proof points those will land.
But that's my point. They haven't decided before they've been ready.
That's right.
Which means they're being flexible about, let's put out the best product for this release.
Mm-hmm.
They're not painting themselves into a corner and saying, okay, it's got to be 120 proof. They're saying, let's put it whatever makes sense for this release. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's the mistake that a lot of these places make, is that somewhere, somehow, they've made a decision that isn't always what gives us the best whiskey. It's what gives us the best return, or what gives us the best financial whatever. And I think
sometimes it's like, we're not paying to change the label.
That could be.
Yeah.
That could
You know
be.
what I mean?
But if you're smart enough, you'll design the label ahead of time so that part of it is not locked in.
I mean, look
Yeah.
at Michter's. Look at Michter's 10 year. It's always the same proof, but the whiskey in there is not 10 years old. You're looking at 14 to 15 year
Sure.
whiskey in there,
Right.
but they're not changing the label.
Right. But they could also leave that proof by making a cast strength. They could leave that part of the label as being
Variable.
variable.
Yeah.
So
Undisclosed.
But no, anyway, that's my little soapbox on that. I think that's one of the things that I think I like about Jack Daniels, and as I've gone further into their catalog, that I've really enjoyed, is the fact that they haven't done that. They haven't painted themselves into a corner. They haven't said, okay, we've got to be this proof or 90.4 for everything. All that type of stuff. So
Who does that?
I don't know. So
And Jack
I've heard
Daniels,
people do it.
And Jack Daniels, I think, incredibly has done an amazing job at being transparent. You could ask Chris Fletcher anything, and he will tell you.
I love that.
He'll tell you the mash
I
bill.
love that.
He will tell you every detail that you want to know about what you're consuming. And I think that's a welcome.
Yeah.
It's a welcome site for any person that's looking to a big heritage distiller that has been creating whiskey
like
since pre-prohibition.
Buffalo Trace, you ask them questions and they're not going to answer a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Well, I think
this is
I think for one reason there is probably, when they talk about the tour guides, they probably don't tell them everything. They tell them the history and what they're tasting. They probably don't know a lot of the ins and outs. But to get to somebody that's actually making the whiskey, I mean, you can just email Chris Fletcher and he'll answer your question. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's amazing how
that
accessible.
transparency's awesome.
It's amazing how accessible he is.
But to me, that makes the you root for a distillery when they give you that information. When, like, for example, and I don't want to pull Buffalo Trace into this, but if you get a bottle of something from Buffalo Trace, you can generally email them,
And they'll give you your
stats.
I don't know if people
barrel.
know this, but there's a phone number on the back of Buffalo Trace bottles. You could call that number, and the people that will answer the phone will answer pretty much any question you have if they can answer
If they
it.
can. Otherwise, they will find out for you, and they'll tell you information about a bottle or a barrel or whatever.
So this bottle, Jack Daniel's 14, is going for $150 retail. Would you pay $150 for it?
Absolutely.
100%.
Would you pay $500 for it, which is what
No.
it's going for?
No. But 150 is at that $10 a year
Ish.
range.
Yeah.
And I will give. We talked about this earlier last episode when you were here a couple of days ago about the $10 a year mark. Is that at cask strength or is that at 90 proof or whatever? I honestly think you get some bonus points and you get a little more leeway when it's actually cask strength, in my opinion.
Now, the Bombergers is $130. Would you pay that?
I'd pay $130
Yes.
for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, secondary, I have no idea what that bottle is.
They're going for about $300.
Wow. The difference between the two is, like, Jack Daniels makes my tongue feel like they're sizzling bacon on a hot griddle.
Here we go.
Your hands, I wish the listeners could see your hands
I
when you
know.
talk about that.
Jazz
It's
hands,
a dance floor and everybody's getting groovy.
Jazz hands everywhere.
Channeling map. A little bit.
No,
Yep.
there's definitely a lot of stuff going on here. Real quick, we're on the subject of Jack Daniels. You got a little bit of a taste of our pick.
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
Really loved it. It's everything I love about Jack Daniels,
Yeah,
amped up,
right.
turned up to 11.
So you said you listened to the Jack Daniels pick episode?
Yeah.
Nacho was a little too much for you, but
He's hilarious. But
he was really funny in
Yeah.
person. He was really funny, but I can
Yeah.
understand if all you're hearing is that twang.
Yeah.
We had choices. There was one that was off profile that I think we all really liked.
We liked it a lot.
But it was off profile. And for our first pick of Jack Daniels, we wanted to be at least more on brand
Yeah.
because, it's Jack Daniels. We wanted it to taste like Jack Daniels.
Yep.
The one we tasted that we passed on that I think we all liked tasted like Booker's.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah, I
was-
could see that.
It was very
That's
Booker's.
interesting you say that because I feel like I came across one of those barrels 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where it was very peanut forward,
Yep.
just really like rich, but it's still very viscous. Had a tinge of the banana, but it was mostly. I mean, when I talk about Old Number 7, it reminds me of trail mix with the banana chips in it.
Yes.
So
It
like
does.
whenever
No,
I
that's-
drank that, that's all I could think of.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So there is a nuttiness
yeah.
to
Which
to Jack,
might
I think.
lead you to think Booker's esque,
Yeah.
or Booker's adjacent,
But this was like
or whatever.
dusty peanut shell.
It was.
Bookers.
It
like
was.
real harsh, dusty
Yeah.
It
peanut
was,
shell, yeah.
and it was very good.
Yes.
But it just, if we were doing a pick of Booker's, it would have been
there was the
selection.
second highest proof of the three. It was 131 point something.
The one we picked was the highest proof.
133.4.
All right, you guys have room for one little quick dessert pour?
Yeah, dessert pour.
A tinge?
A tinge
Just
for
a
me.
smidge.
Just a
I
smidge?
I has to go soon. Sorry.
I know, you always have to go.
I know. I'm going really far north.
I mean,
in the
yeah,
We
morning.
had some
One
technical
a couple minutes
difficulties
ago.
early.
I should have stayed at Jason's. I'm working at New Albany in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah,
Partway there.
You still can.
You could,
New Albany.
You could
Wait.
sleep in the whiskey room.
He doesn't live.
That's further north than I am.
But you go 670, you're closer to New Albany than you would be from his house.
You could stay at Domino's.
Nobody
That's
asked you.
close.
Domino's? Oh.
Yummy.
Oh, the old, you stay in the Blanton's warehouse?
Yeah.
That
So,
might be closer.
So you were talking about
we need to get
Jack.
him back on the podcast and have him just come here and not do anything bland. Just have
Yeah.
him come hang out. He was a good guest.
Yeah.
He was fun.
I would like to see him just drink other things, or just drink in general.
Well, well, what did he say? He likes tequila, right?
I don't remember that.
Like outside of like Blanton's and bourbon, he likes
Oh,
tequila.
no. Is that going to be his new obsession? We're going to see
no, but I think that's what he drank
A
before.
Fortaleza collection.
No, but I think before his colleague gave him
Yeah.
Blanton's, I think that's what he drank, and I think he still enjoys tequila. I think that's his.
We got a whisper.
So this is the Chocolate Whisper from Woodford Reserve.
Try it, whisper.
This released
You're doing your DJ voice
online.
again.
This
Sounds
reviewed
of the
online.
70s.
Sunday.
It's like Reservoir Dogs. She's like sound of the 70s.
Yeah,
Mr.
Sound of the
Brown.
70s.
Mr. Brown.
The Chocolate Whisper from Woodford Reserve.
Why do we got to be Mr.
You would,
Pink?
You would think it's 90.4, but it's actually 138 proof.
Ooh,
It does not
hazmat.
smell 138.
This is semi close to hazmat.
I thought hazmat was 140.
It is.
it is.
Okay.
So it's 100.
138
I'm
is
sorry,
very
it's
close.
139.4.
139.
So point
One.
Point
six.
6 away from hazmat.
0.6 away from hazmat, but it's also 12 years old.
Oh, this has a nose
So
to it.
when the hell
Dessert.
do we ever see this from Woodford Reserve?
No, that's
Never.
that's-
Crazy, right?
Oh, that's
I-
coffee. This
Coffee.
smells like chocolate and coffee.
It
Yeah.
does.
It smells like chocolate.
It smells like a straight up mocha, like a
Oh,
mocha
a mocha.
latte.
Very mocha.
You know
Mocha
what we were
latte,
surprised
frappuccino,
by?
Cappy,
Frappuccino, capa, leave the whip a cream in your face.
20 caramel pumps.
Dude, that's what I loved about Europe. They drink cappuccino, like, or not espresso, sorry.
Yeah.
Not cappuccino.
Espresso.
All the time. They drink
Vanilla
X.
espresso.
Hey, there's a big X
Vanilla-
on the cup.
Vanilla X espressos.
There's an X on the cup.
Hey,
Why
did
is that so stupid?
Did you hear what our
Maker's
maker's mark
Pick?
is called?
No, what'd you call it?
Vanilla X espresso.
Oh, nice.
So we're spelling it vanilla and then X standalone and then the word espresso.
So,
Oh, that's
Ex-
hooking. That's hooking on
espresso.
phonics, fellas.
Well, we're making fun.
Good job.
We're making fun of Tyler's Michigander.
Yes,
it's like
Because he
half
says
of
it
America.
espresso.
Yeah.
Half of America does.
I think half of America does. say
I'm
that. I
Michigan
think you're
too,
right.
and I say espresso.
No, you are, but you're classy.
Cultured asshole.
Pinky out.
You're a Michigan
Ooh.
hybrid though.
Your pinky was already out. You didn't have to say it.
That's a weird pinky, huh?
Yeah, it's a little. Hey, do you have a hunchback
Yeah.
pinky like I do?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you do. Look at this one. No hunchback. This one's hunchback. This one was dislocated playing volleyball, and I
at that
snapped it
thing.
back into
Football.
Look at mine.
They got a chocolate covered almond in there.
Mine's like the
Peanut M&M.
Mr.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
It conforms to the golf swing though.
Look at that.
Yours isn't. Yours is like a ski slope. His has a problem.
The golf swing though.
Oh, is that what that's from?
But look at this one.
No.
Look at that knuckle.
Hey, look at this one, Jason. Nothing's wrong with this one,
Oh, that's weird.
right?
Yeah,
And
that one's
this
all
one-
straight.
this
Smell
one-
my finger. No, I'm kidding.
You feel left out, Brett?
Ew! Ew! What is happening?
So I got mine stuck in a fence playing volleyball, and it dislocated. It was going like this. So I just popped it back in and kept playing.
That makes sense.
And it never healed.
Yeah.
So
Mine
that's why mine's
jammed
like
into
that.
the chest of an opposite football player.
Oh, there
And
you go. Well, so see this right here? I can't bend this one. This one got stuck in the pocket of a person who was not supposed to be wearing a pocket during flag football.
What are you doing in his pocket?
I
Oh,
was
flag
reaching
football.
for a flag,
Got it.
and it
you-
got stuck in his pocket. You're not supposed to wear pockets in flag football. And it got stuck. Look at that. I can't.
So what
fucking-
happened? So what happened to you?
I used to play guitar until this.
Football. It jammed into the chest of the other player.
That thing looks gross.
Yeah. Mine was flag football. Can't play a guitar anymore.
Looks like a frankfurter that popped in the microwave.
Yeah. That's disgusting. Hey, you know, you could have
microwaved hot
probably
dog.
gone to the doctor and gotten that fixed.
I could still do that.
Can you bend it?
It's
Do you have-
fine.
do you have any?
JD, it's fine.
I mean, it's kind of.
It's like that movie Alien when it's about to pop out of his chest. Like, something's going to come out of that knuckle.
You look arthritic as hell, but that's all right.
It doesn't hurt.
And that's okay. So let's taste this and nose it.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Chocolate. We said.
Yeah,
Chocolate.
I mean,
We
it's
said
coffee.
chocolate.
It's
coffee.
chocolate coffee bean.
Yeah,
Has anyone tasted it yet?
I did.
have not.
Sorry.
What do you think?
I can't.
So go for it.
It does not taste 139 point. What we say
4.
4 proof.
Yeah.
Does not taste that at all. It's delicious.
Right. It's such a dessert pour.
It's a dessert pour. I couldn't drink this all night by any means.
I want to pour this over
Oh.
vanilla ice cream.
This tastes
Okay,
like
JD.
you just
That's a JD comment
mashed
for sure.
Mashed potatoes.
But, oh yeah, he poured on mashed
Yeah.
potatoes.
Wow, the coffee on this is freaking.
That's
Yeah.
a bitter
Yeah.
ass coffee.
No, this
It's
is
good
the coffee
though.
you like.
I like bitter coffee.
So this is very, very coffee forward. Holy
Yeah.
cow!
Yeah, the chocolate's there, but that coffee
coffee's
note,
there.
And
Yeah.
the chocolate is like the aftertaste. Mm-hmm. So like as I breathe out, I get coffee or I get chocolate. But as I drink it, I'm getting all coffee.
So I get my coffee
Damn.
from a monk in Wyoming. It's called Mystic Monk Coffee. They
I
have
thought
a-
this was a joke.
No,
fuck
seriously.
just happened?
So, Chocolate Cherry is one of his brands for coffee, and
Yeah.
it's very close.
Is he an actual monk?
He dresses like it.
What just happened?
Are you being bamboozled?
No,
Does he send you?
He's being catfished.
Is he wearing an
being
orange bed sheet and he's telling you he's a monk?
He's being catfished.
I'm worried about this guy
It's
sometimes.
the new catfish.
Yeah, he's being catfished.
What is going on?
It's an actual monk. I'm like, dude, the guy works at Walmart probably. Like,
So real quick,
is that him?
it is an orange sheet.
blended and roasted by Catholic monks in the Rocky Mountains.
Well, what if it was an Episcopalian monk?
Then it's not coffee.
It's not a monk.
So let me ask you this real quick. So do any of you guys listen to the Micro podcast the way I heard it?
Nope.
At times.
There was a time when I did. I do not.
They used to be short, like 15-minute
Anymore.
episodes. Now they're long-form episodes, and he has people come on and he interviews them. But he just had a guy on
looks
recently
freaky.
who is that looks like one of the guys from the
I'm a coffee whore. I love coffee.
that guy
Their
in the
coffee's
wait,
so
but hold
good.
on, that guy in the background looked like the guy from Star Wars in the desert. What are those guys?
That's some Illuminati coffee
no,
this
no,
dude's
but
drinking.
what are those guys in the desert? What are those guys in the desert?
The sand people.
No, not the same people.
Oh,
The ones,
you mean
the
the
trash
sand.
collectors. The trash
Yeah, the trash collectors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What were those called?
I forgot what they're called.
Iwa,
Not Ewoks.
They're not Ewoks.
No, not Iwo Jimas or something.
Yeah. Tink, 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 tink.
Yeah.
Iwo
That's
Jimas.
Spaceballs.
That's Spaceballs. I just saw that the other day. That was so funny.
Iwo Jimas.
I think that was a battle.
They're not
in World War
Jawas.
II.
Were they Jawas?
That's where they
Jawas.
Thank you. I was close. I had a J in there
Jawas.
and a W. I had a W. Iwo Jimas.
Wow. Tink, tink, tink.
Jawas the Hut.
Yogurt. Anyway.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, all
Pizza the
knowing.
Hut.
Pizza. He ate himself to death. God, that's a great movie. Anyway,
It's so good.
Underrated.
Keep firing, assholes.
I can't breathe with this thing
That's
on.
my favorite part.
Ludicrous speed.
is that a lacrosse ball underneath my cart in there?
Is that a euphemism?
Random. Yes, it is actually. Under
Yeah.
that.
Clyde's probably
War
been
whiskey.
trying to find that forever. That's funny. No, but anyway, he had this guy on who is an influencer, and he's on tons of social media.
Okay.
And he has his phone all the time. So he decided to do this experiment, basically. And his experiment was that he was going to just get off of his phone for 8 weeks. I think 3 weeks of it was at a monastery in California, maybe 4 weeks. And then the rest of it was at a Amish location in Ohio. He did a brain scan of his brain before he went and a brain scan after he returned. And he did not touch his phone during that entire time.
Wow.
His brain scan before he went looked like the brain scan of an addict. When he came back, his brain scan was 100% different, like a regular, like almost like a creative thinker, artist type person. That's the brain scan he had when he got back.
That's cool.
And so now
Kind of sad though too.
it is 100% sad. So there's tons of studies out there that show that like the waiting for likes, waiting for responses to your posts, stuff like that is a very addictive.
It's called a dopamine response.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
Exactly what it is.
Is that it gives you a dopamine response, but it's very addictive, and it becomes this thing that you're like, these influencers, and not just influencers, but regular everyday people are waiting all the time for these responses. They keep checking how many people responded, how many people liked it, how many people laughed, how many people whatever, and it just creates this addiction.
Well, that's why people go on TikTok and do just stupid dances that
It's,
they do.
it's a dopamine. It's
Well, they want likes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: some of them are actually getting paid for that. So where do you
They're
draw
on
that
Feet
line?
Finder, too.
right? But they're trying to.
Don't you remember Martell has big, beautiful
Yes.
toes or whatever it is?
Jesus, I don't think he really does.
No, he does. It's a real thing.
He does. He has.
He
It's
started
real.
a Feet Finder
It's real.
account trying to make money. He said he got like 12 cents
No.
or like a quarter or something
So he
stupid.
really did.
Yes, he really.
I thought that was always just a joke
No.
that he. Okay. Anyway,
So we've all become lemmings, basically.
sure.
We're all gonna end up like the fat people on chairs in the movie WALL-E.
Wally. Yeah.
That or where it's going to be like Idiocracy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Idiocracy.
Yeah.
I think there's more of a chance of that.
I do.
I just
yeah.
watched this robot movie. It's got
Will Smith.
Good story, bro.
Chris Pratt in
Good
it.
story, bro.
Chris Pratt.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Robot
about.
movie.
Yes, it just came out.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
I was
about.
like, Guardians of the Galaxy?
No. So
All these
it's
people are
basically-
wearing these like
Jurassic World.
No.
headsets.
So these are so what happens is these robots start to become aware.
Yep.
And then these robots are then like something happens to them where they, I think, remove their will, their free will, and so then
There's a war.
there's a war and all this stuff. And Chris Pratt's in it, but there's a girl in it. Who's the girl?
11 from
Stranger Things.
From Stranger
Oh,
Things.
sounds like a rebooted, different version of Terminator.
The robots are self-aware.
It's
Yeah.
different. It's different.
Mr.
different, but the
Mr.
same.
Peanuts in it.
I haven't seen it
Mr.
yet.
Peanuts in it.
I haven't seen it yet, but
With a little top hat?
It's gotten
Yeah.
pretty decent reviews from a.
It's really good.
Yeah. I've heard it's good.
I enjoyed it.
This is really good, by the way.
Yeah.
This Woodford. This is interesting.
Something I rarely hear from you.
I feel like I just had a nightcap at a restaurant, like a coffee drink to end my meal.
We were pleasantly
love-
surprised
Do you
by
know
the
what I mean, though?
double oaked.
I love espresso
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end of a meal.
It was good.
Super
but
butterscotch.
That's
Love
kind
that.
of like what I'm
Yeah.
feeling like right now. Is that at the end of the meal, I decided to have a coffee.
That's what I was saying. It's just a really beautiful, like, just a nice dessert. It was, even though it's proofy, it doesn't come off that way.
No,
I
it
was
doesn't.
telling Jason we enjoyed the double oak that time.
We did.
brought.
The double-double was very good
I
this
was
year.
right here. I heard you. telling
It's
him.
here.
I know it is. 'Cause
Oh, Tyler left. Tyler always leaves
Tyler
his
left
shit.
it. Do you want to have some?
He leaves all of his stuff.
He never
he left
takes
the
it
bottle.
home. Yeah.
I'll take it to do a review because I didn't get that
All
bottle.
right, I'll let you take it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I have
Privileges.
left for.
You said it's Tyler's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fill it with some 2-year shit and give it back to him.
Pour all of it out into in a decanter and then fill it back with something else.
I'll just throw some.
That's
like,
more than I remember it
Yeah,
being.
take it with the
I'll
Four
totally
Roses.
screw him. I'll fill it with like Willet 4-year rye. When he goes back, what is this?
Damn, this is good.
He's gonna be like, what happened?
Yeah, take it with your Four Roses, and then
Cool.
just make sure you give it back though, because he'll want it at some point. I don't
He'll
understand
forget.
why he leaves stuff here. It makes no sense to
He
me.
just doesn't like
I
carrying
leave
it
stuff
outside.
here.
He doesn't.
I leave shit here
carrying
every
outside.
week.
Yeah, he does. Waters, whatever.
Sunglasses.
All right, guys. Well, we are at about an hour and 25 minutes. And as always, when Jason comes over, that's what happens.
Sorry, guys.
No, we appreciate it, and I enjoy it. I don't know if they enjoy it.
You didn't want to try the
Listen,
Russells?
No, I think I've had enough.
We've all had enough. Leave it unopened.
I'm okay, but thank you, sir. You know I love Russells, but like I won't appreciate it at
Don't
this
forget
point.
your Asian or flight kit bottle.
Asian?
Oh yeah.
Aged.
Oh, aged in or.
Those are great. I will be filling all of those up on my next work trip
I know, me too.
for sure.
Me too. I'm going to take some with me to Italy
Yeah.
Hell to the yeah.
because I don't know what kind of whiskey game they're going to have over there. And I'm not going to be
Not much.
I'm not going to be
much.
in France where it's de maison.
Just drink the wine in Italy.
Drink the wine.
It'll
Yeah,
blow
I
your
was saying,
mind.
man, the wine's-
It'll
I will
blow
be
your
drinking
mind.
the wine. I'll be drinking the wine. All right, guys. Thanks for joining in. As always, if you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or whatever you listen to. If you don't like what you hear, still give us a 5-star review, but reach out to info@bourbonhunters.com. We've got a new competition coming up, giveaway? Yeah, giveaway for Sonic Temple here in Columbus, Ohio. I've got some tickets available for that. You'll be hearing about that here shortly. And we'll have our announcement on who wins the tickets to Bourbon and Beyond that we have. Do
Do you have incarceration?
No,
Oh.
we didn't get incarceration, but we do have not Rock on the Range. That's Sonic Temple. We have Louder Than Life as well.
Okay, cool.
That'll be coming
Nice.
as well. So if you're into the rock stuff, then you'll have Sonic Temple. You'll have Rock on the Range. If you're into just the eclectic mix, Bourbon and Beyond. So tune in. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for joining us on yet another hunt for bourbon. Please give us a 5-star review anywhere you are listening, but if you don't, leave some constructive criticism in the review so that we can better improve our show. But until then, sit back, grab a pour, kick up your feet, and enjoy some bourbon. The Bourbon Hunters podcast has been craft distilled, produced, recorded, and edited by Dude Pool. For any questions, comments, or recommendations, please reach out to info@bourbonhunters.com